Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go through a series of practice problems based on the medical terminology, the basics lesson 1. So if you haven't watched that video already, I suggest you watch that before proceeding with these series of practice problems. So this video will be pretty basic. It's only going to focus on what's been taught in the basics lesson 1 series, so let's get started. So to begin, the first word that we want to try to break down and figure out what it means is neurology. So how do we do this? Well, again, we go through breaking down the word. So break it down into pieces. So neurology, neuro, if we look at the neuro portion of that word, what does neuro mean? Well, neuro actually means nerve or relating to the nervous system. And when we look at the end part of that word, logy or ology, that stands for study of. So when we put this all together, it simply means the study of the nerves or study of the nervous system. The next word is leukocyte. So I'll let you try to figure this out. What does leukocyte mean? So again, we just break it down. So leuko means white, and cyte means cell. So white cell, what does that mean? Well, it's actually a white blood cell, so that's what we call a white blood cell. Leukocyte is a white blood cell. The next one is hemophilia. So again, try to figure this out. So again, like we always do, we break it down. So hemo means blood, and philia means love of. So this actually means love of blood, but it actually is an inherited blood condition involving inappropriate bleeding. So hemophilia actually literally means love of blood, but it actually is a genetic condition involving inappropriate bleeding. So the next word is hypoxia. So again, I'll let you guys try to figure this out. What does hypoxia mean? Well, again, just break it down. We look at hypo. What does hypo mean? Well, hypo means low, below normal, or decreased. And then cia means oxygen. So it literally means low oxygen levels. Now, hypoxia is typically referring to low oxygen levels in tissues. And now we can think of hypoxia in the blood. This doesn't really usually denote low oxygen in the blood. Hypoxemia is low oxygen in the blood, but this usually denotes or relates to low oxygen levels in tissue. The next one is hypercapnia. So again, try to break this down. So again, we just break it down. So hyper means high, above normal, or elevated. And capnia means carbon dioxide. And when we put it all together, it literally means high or above normal carbon dioxide levels, and typically hypercapnia relates to carbon dioxide levels in the blood, so it's actually high or above normal carbon dioxide levels in the blood. The next one is hepatomegaly. So what does hepatomegaly mean? Well, again, just break it down. So we break it into pieces. So again, the beginning of the word hepato, we know hepato means liver. In megaly, we've learned that megaly stands for enlarged. So when we put it all together, it just means an enlarged liver. So hepatomegaly means an enlarged liver. The next word is tachypnea. So what do you think this word actually means, tachypnea? Well, again, break it down. So tachy means fast or rapid. And apnea means air or breathing. So the pnea, actually, you can think of pneumonia. It really relates to air. And when you just put this together, tachypnea means, again, rapid or fast breathing. So that's all that tachypnea means. It just means rapid or fast breathing. The next word is atrophy. So what do you think atrophy means? So again, break it down. So this kind of is a little odd. So the first letter actually means something. So A actually means lacking or absent. We've learned that before. A means lacking or absent. And trophy means growth, and usually denotes growth in cell size. So when we put this together, atrophy means lacking or absent cell growth, and it usually refers to wasting of muscle, but it really means there's no growth in the size of a cell. So you get small or shrinking or wasting of a muscle usually. The next one is bradycardia. So what does bradycardia mean? So again, just break it down. So brady means slow. So it's the opposite of tachy. So brady means slow. In cardia means the heart. Cardio means the heart. Cardia is still relating to the heart. So bradycardia means, when we put it all together, it means slow or slower than normal heart rate. The next one is gastroenterology. So again, we just break it down into pieces. So when we look at gastro means the stomach. And when we look at enter or entero, it means small intestine. And we've also seen ology before, so that means study of. So when we put it all together, gastroenterology means the study of the gastrointestinal system. The next one is erythrocyte. So what does erythrocyte mean? Again, we just take it piece by piece. Erythro means red. And cyte, we've seen this before, it means cell. So it's a red cell. It's actually denoting a red blood cell. Erythrocyte is a red blood cell. The next one is colitis. So what does colitis mean? Again, colitis, col. We've learned that col or colo means colon. And itis means inflammation. So colitis simply means inflammation of the colon. The next one is hypertension. So we've heard this word before. You probably heard this in day-to-day life, hypertension. So what does it actually mean? Well, again, we've seen hyper. We know what hyper means. Hyper just means high or above normal or elevated. And tension means pressure. And usually tension refers to pressure in the blood. So really hypertension, all it means is high or above normal blood pressure. The next word is chromophobia. So this might be a little tricky. So what does chromophobia stand for? Or what does chromophobia mean? Well, again, breaking it down, chromo. So think of chromochromatic. So what does chromo stand for? Well, it stands for color. And phobia, you might have heard of other types of phobias. So what is a phobia? Well, it's a fear. That's a fear of something. So chromophobia really means a fear of or aversion to colors. Now, this is a little bit different, but that's literally what it means. It means a fear of or aversion to colors. The next one is macrocephaly. So again, break it down. You've heard certain words before. You probably recognize macro, macroscopic, something big, and that's literally what it means. Macro means large, and cephaly, we've learned in the basics lesson 1 that cephaly means head or relating to the head. So macrocephaly just means a large or larger than average head. So the next word is transdermal. So again, just break it down. You might have heard of trans. Trans just means across. So you might have heard of transatlantic, across something. So trans just means across. And dermal, dermal just means the skin or the dermis. So literally when you put it together, it just means across the skin or dermis. Now, you might have heard of transdermal patch. It is a medication that can go across the skin or dermis. So it's a transdermal route. The next word is extrathoracic. So what does this mean? Again, breaking it down. So extra just means outside, outer, or exterior. So that's easy. Remember, extra, exterior. And then thoracic, you can think of the thorax, the chest. So thoracic just means the chest or pertaining to the chest. And again, when you put it all together, it just means pertaining to outside the chest. The next one is intra-abdominal. So again, breaking it down, so intra is pretty much the opposite of extra. So intra just means within or inside or inner. And abdominal, you can think of the abdomen. So that's easy to remember. Abdominal just relating to the abdomen. So intra-abdominal just means within or inside the abdomen. The next one is adrenal. So you might be thinking, okay, I've heard of the adrenal gland. Okay, but what does adrenal actually mean? Well, if we break it down, ad, so we've learned that ad usually means toward or above. So ad means toward or above, and renal, we've learned that renal means the kidney or relating to the kidney. And in fact, the adrenal gland is just an organ that is toward or above the kidney. So that's why the adrenal glands are actually called adrenal glands, because they are toward or above the kidney. The next one is parathyroid. So when we break this down, what does para mean? You can think of parallel. So para actually means nearby. And thyroid is easy. Thyroid just means thyroid. So parathyroid just means nearby the thyroid. And in fact, there are actually parathyroid glands, which are small organs near the thyroid. So that's why they're called parathyroid or parathyroid glands. So the next word is perinephric. Perinephric. So what does perinephric mean? Well, again, peri, so you can think of peri, around. So if you need an easy way to remember this, perimeter, something going around. So peri means around, and nephric means kidney as well, or relating to the kidney. So it's similar to renal, but it's more associated with a nephron in the kidney, but it really simply means kidney as well. So perinephric, around the kidney or relating to the kidney. So that literally means pertaining to, around the kidney. So perinephric means pertaining to, around the kidney. And that's the last practice problem. I hope you found this video helpful. This was a series of practice problems based on the basics lesson 1 of my medical terminology series. So please let me know what you thought of this video. If you want to see any more videos like this one, just let me know. And if you did find this video helpful, please subscribe for more videos like this one. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.